Hey everyone, thanks for watching, hanging out with me. So this week I've got a Noosh Extras for you, and this is a semi-condensed version of a live stream that I did several weeks back, and I carved this little guy. Check him out. So what you're about to see is about an hour-long video of me carving this panda, and I'll even throw in the inking video at the end of the video so you have something to look forward to. But if you like relaxing, fun, quiet, subdued conversation and just like carving noises, this is the video for you. So and hope you enjoy. Thanks. See you around. Hello everyone. I'm just gonna hang out and carve this panda here on Facebook Live. I haven't done Facebook Live in a while. Don't really know exactly how it works. I'm testing out a streaming program that I want to start using more to do more live streamy stuff. So I'm testing out this right now, and I'm just gonna hang out and carve and talk to people if people are interested. And yeah, so that's what I'm doing today. Hello. This is a panda bear wearing a belly bag. It's weird because the streaming stuff that I'm using looks like it lags a little bit behind. It lags, about 5 to 10 seconds behind. So I'm gonna have to not look at the screen too much because it really is weird to like watch myself work 5 seconds in the past. But if you have a question or a comment, I can probably see it because I don't know. Nobody's commented yet, so I don't know if I can see it or not. Maybe I can. I assume I can. How's everyone doing on this Monday morning? So it says, I love your carving tools and your stone. Where did you find them? So I get my carving tools online. I have actually a page on my website, www.nooshstudios.com, that basically it outlines what tools I use and where I get them and all that stuff. So you can check that out. It has all the information, has links and everything that you would need. So they are carving grip tools though, and I've got links for you on my website as to where you can find them. Just click on the What Do You Use link under Resources when you get there. Get up. I'm going to turn my fan on real quick. I always forget how hot it gets under those lights. Hello. How do you transfer the drawings to the board? Good question. I'm not sure. No, I'm kidding. So I use a digital projector to get my drawings onto the board. And I shine the projector up onto the board, and then I draw it out using a Sharpie. It's always great to watch you work. Good evening from a windy Scotland. Is it windy over there? Nice. Is windy good? Windy sounds... I don't like the wind. Windy sounds not good. About 10 years ago. No, it's been longer than that. Maybe like 12 years ago. It doesn't really matter. We had like a little microburst storm come through, and it took a tree. It threw it on top of my car, and I lost my car. I had that car for about 2-3 months at that point. I lost the car. It was a nice little car. I liked that car. Didn't get a chance to bond with that car though. So I don't like the wind. Don't like the wind. But hopefully wind is good in your case. I have to carve out the eyes. His eyes are closed because he's just happy and dancing. Ted dancing. Just stopped raining, so 1 notch up just to be windy. I guess that's good. Yesterday we had a real weird storm roll through here in Atlanta. It was a sun shower. It was so sunny out and nice out, and then we had just a real weird and strong. It wasn't even a thunderstorm. It was just like a rainstorm, but it was windy and it was raining super hard. Yeah, it was strange. What kind of wood am I carving? This is Baltic birch. I always do my panda bears with not round spots around their eyes. They always have this kind of shape, and I always make them fuzzy looking. I don't know why. I think it's just how I like how it looks fuzzy. But I also think it kind of looks funny too, because they kind of look like they're all like members of Kiss with the face paint on. Love your work. Thanks for the tips you gave our class. I wish you the best. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for the kind words. You love pandas and llamas. Yamas. Those are two good choices. I like pandas too. The Atlanta Zoo has a handful of pandas. I think right now they have 4. 2 babies. Well, 2 like 1-year-olds. And then the parents. How are you doing with all the shutdowns? Interesting question. I'm doing well enough. I'm lucky enough to have something that I'm able to do from my house. Before all of this happened, I had a handful of things that I did. I did live caricature events. I did festivals where I printed T-shirts, and then I did working from home online stuff. And now I'm only doing the working from home online stuff, which, like I said, I'm lucky to be able to do, but it has changed the way that I operate. But in a general sense, I'm doing well. It's an adapting to a new environment. And yeah, doing well. Sometimes you get a little sad for all the things that you would like to do, but you shouldn't do. So from that aspect, it's challenging. But I'm doing well enough. Hopefully you guys are too. I know it's tough for a lot of people. And for that reason, I'm happy, and you'll hear no complaints out of me because I'm at least able to, continue making silly, funny T-shirts and carvings and art. So, but we're doing fine. It's an interesting time. And I wish it wasn't so interesting. I wish it was a little more boring. How did I get started carving? So I have a degree in drawing, painting, and printmaking from Kennesaw State University. When I enrolled there at first, I only had the intention of going for drawing and painting. But as you know, no one goes into college doing exactly what they thought. Let me rephrase that. No one comes out of college doing exactly what they thought they were going to be doing when they went into college. So, I took a class in printmaking, and I really enjoyed how it worked with the way my brain worked. My brain works a lot in lines and with subtle changes in color and shade, like gradients. It starts light here and dark here. So I liked how I also liked how it bridged the gap between like a 2D and like a sculptural thing, like making an object, a matrix to print with. So once I took my first printmaking class in college, kind of cemented that this is something that I enjoy doing. So I just kept at it. And here we are. Now it's, let's see, probably 12 years after I took my first printmaking class. And I'm still at it. Watching it ink a carving is ridiculously satisfying. Well, thank you. It's the same here for me. Like, it's the same experience for me as well. Because, I mean, I've been doing it so long, I kind of know what to expect when I look at a carving. It's one of the reasons that I paint the surface of my blocks black, so I can see what's going on. There's no guesswork involved. I'll know exactly what it's going to look like when I ink it up. But it's satisfying for me to see it all come to an end too, because some of these, you know, I did a carving last week, and I haven't inked it up yet. But it took me, I don't know, 12 hours to carve it. It'll take me another 2 hours to paint it. And so I don't really, you know, I have a good idea what I think it's going to look like, but I don't know what it's going to look like. And once it's finished, it's done. I could go in and make small edits and stuff here and there, but largely that's challenging to do. So once it's finished, it's done. And I just hope that it looks good at the end. So I'm just as happy and satisfied watching it come together too. I mean, like, that does look good. I did make good color choices, because sometimes the colors are, sometimes the colors go really well with the black, and sometimes it doesn't. They usually do, though. They usually do. But you just move on to the next. And keep working. Yeah, I get this less fuzzy in here. This panda for an existing order or just for fun? This panda will it will be put up for sale at some point. I don't know when that is. I hope to finish it this week, but it does take a couple days to dry after I finish a piece, so it probably won't be put up until sometimes next week for sale. Would be my guess. This week I have a handful of commission pieces I need to finish up before I can paint this one. I'm I'm kind of starting the week off. This is like my warm-up for the week piece. Just to kind of get started, get in the groove of, you know, being back down in the basement after the weekend and making stuff. So that's where I'm at with this piece. Look for it next week at some point, I would say. Next week. Your tools are sharp, cutting very well. Yeah, some of them could be a little sharper. My little U-gouges could use a sharpening. This one's good, though. This one's nice and sharp. Also with these tools, the deeper you go, the more material you're trying to move out of the way, the harder it is for the tool to do that. So you don't want to just do surface cuts, but you want to work your way down rather than trying to get the whole thing all at once sometimes. And that's what I'm doing right now. Kind of working my way down to the second layer of plywood. Cutting this, I guess this would be his little panda mane, just the fur around his neck. I know pandas technically probably wouldn't. I don't know. Maybe they're called manes. I have no idea. Also, this week I want to come up with a new T-shirt design. I'm probably not going to carve it this week, but maybe I'll sketch for it this week. I don't know what that'll be though. I've no thoughts about what the new T-shirt design would be. So if anybody has any requests or thoughts, this would be, you know, a good time to voice them, inspire me. I mean, I have a couple ideas, but we could keep going with the mythical creature route and do something along those lines. Maybe like a Kraken t-shirt. Although I do have a lot of octopuses, but this one would probably be more of the sea dragon type Kraken. Just a serpent. You said you do live characters at events? Yes. Well, not much anymore, but in a past life, and by a past life, I mean like 4 or 5 months ago. But yes, I did that before. I've been doing that since 2003. So that means I've been doing it for 17 years, which is, wow. Which is more than half of my life at this point. Cracking knuckles. Wearing a face mask. Yeah, 17 years. I haven't ventured out in this at this time to go do it again. I do have an event scheduled for October, but that'll be the first event I've done since February. And I just have to figure out how to do it. Cracking knuckles. I'm trying to think. Like, I know what you mean. I get your joke. So like there might be a good pun there that I could maybe find. I don't know. Like Knuckles from Knuckles from Sonic as a Kraken. Maybe. No one would understand that though if I did that for real. It would just confuse everyone. I know there's still a lot of caricature artists that are still doing events and that are being creative and doing like virtual birthday parties and things like that. Puns are the best. They are. Puns are good. We have our... I know I posted it, but it's been a while, so maybe no one knows it anymore. But a couple months back, I painted a 7-foot-tall Tyrannosaurus Rex to sit in our front yard and tell jokes to the neighbors. And this past weekend, I put a new joke. I put a new joke every week up there. And this past weekend, the joke that I wrote out there was it's kind of punny. It's more of like a double meaning more than a pun, but it definitely has pun tendencies. It goes, time flies like an arrow, fruit flies like a banana. Yeah. Not quite a pun, but it's in the same vein. Just a funny thought considering those tentacles. More like a suction. Suction pops than cracks, yeah. I do have a lot of octopus t-shirts though. But I haven't done one in a minute. Maybe it is time for a new one. And I haven't really done a Kraken. I've done drawings of like octopuses sink in a boat, but it's not super original. I feel like a lot of people do those. They come up with a new design. But then when I go like crazy original, like 2 weekends ago, I did the raccoon as a centaur. I think it just confused a lot of people. It wasn't as popular as I thought it was going to be. Pardon me a moment. I'm going to grab some water. Bring it a little closer to me. There we go. I'm back. I'm back from outer space. Just with that look upon your face. This past weekend, didn't really do a whole lot. We worked in the yard all weekend pretty much. Not because like I particularly enjoy working in the yard. It's just like wasn't much else to do. And I was like, may as well cut the grass. May as well pull up this ivy. May as well. We got a little garden going. Got some spinach and tomatoes that was ready to harvest in the garden, so we had a garden burger night where we made burgers and put garden stuff on it. It was tasty. It was fresh. It was nice. Abraco aqui do Brazil. Yay! Alright, so let me guess. I can click the C translation button. It means hello here from Brazil. My brother's chiming in. I'd like to circle back on the burger topic. How do you like yours cooked? You making burgers, Matthew? I'll take mine just a good medium. Good medium. Honey mustard. Although we've been making this like a pesto mayonnaise to put on the buns, which might, on a burger, I might prefer that to honey mustard, which I know sounds crazy because honey mustard is the bomb. But that pesto mayonnaise, it's good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, pesto mayonnaise is good, man. We've been buying our pesto, but we should make it because we've got a pretty good amount of basil going on in that garden too. So maybe I'll be making pesto next weekend. Homemade pesto, homemade. We got tomatoes and lettuce and yeah. We'll have spaghetti squash come fall. Still can't tell how you're holding your tool. Like this. Kind of pushed in my thumb right there and held with my thumb, and then I control it with my fingers and I push forward with this hand and back with this hand. That's how I hold my tool. But when I say I push back with this hand, I'm not like I'm not fighting myself, but it's just so my hand doesn't slip. If I just do like this, I have no control. This one, maybe it's not pushing back as much as it's placing the tool where it's supposed to go. This one's driving, this one's steering. Maybe a better way to say that is this one's providing the power, the acceleration, and then this one is steering. I know you answered this, but what kind of wood are you carving on? This is birch. This is birch. I have a whole page on my website. I already said this too, but I know there's a good number of people that come in and out and they don't watch the whole thing. But I've got a page on my website that's called "What Do You Use?" If you click on resources on nooshstudios.com, you'll find it. And on that page, I outline everything that I use and where you can find it. I even provide links. Yes. And just for everyone watching, there's probably about a 5 to 10 second delay. So if I give me about 5 to 10 seconds to react to your comment when you make it. I'm not ignoring you, I promise. I promise. Yeah, check it out for sure, man. I think there's some good info there. And if there's things that you have questions about that aren't included, let me know and I'll fill in the blanks. Can't promise I'll do it immediately, but I'll fill in the blanks. Okay. Got this arm all done. Panda hand. You know, pandas have like this second thumb somewhere like down in here. I didn't draw it because it looks weird. But if you haven't seen this, like a panda's second thumb, check it out. It's a weird little appendage that they've got. I think it makes it easier for them to rip eucalyptus, not eucalyptus, they're bamboo or something like that. You need one? I need one of your shirts. Yes, you do. Go grab one, please. Depending on where you are, if you're within the United States, they ship free. And they're all, I make them all. All the designs are hand carved. All of the t-shirts are hand printed, and I do everything from beginning to end. And it's a good way to support me and what I do because they're cheap and affordable, and it really, if enough people grab them, it adds up and it helps out a bunch. Especially we were talking earlier in the new environment that we're in, where I can't do all the things that I normally do. You're in Texas and looking now, well, thank you. I have over 100 different designs. Some are cute, some are funny, some are stupid, some are ugly. But like ugly on purpose. Maybe not ugly. Maybe ugly on not purpose too, in your opinion. I have no idea. Not everyone has to like it. That's fine. I understand I can't please everyone all the time. People leave weird comments on my stuff all the time, letting me know they're displeased. Some more water real quick. Say what? They are displeased. Displeased with the not the quality of the t-shirts, but with like one of the comments I received recently. It was this is what I mean. I did those mermaids, the tiny mermaid carvings, and some dude just commented, "Stick to animals." It made me laugh. It also, I was like, "Oh man, I thought those were good. I like those mermaids." And then months back, I posted a picture. I know people again. I'm not entirely offended by it. I like I said, I laughed first, and then I was like, "Oh man!" But first came the laugh, and then a couple months earlier, I posted a picture of me holding one of my prints. And then someone told me I had a 5 head. They said, "Write Noosh on your 5 head." That's what they told me. That's what they told me. But like the laughing comes first. Yeah, it was very strange. I don't even know if I didn't even like check to see if that person like legit follows me or if they were just kind of, they just found a picture and was like, oh man, that dude's got a big old forehead. I couldn't tell you. I didn't care enough to check. But that's the price of being on the internet. Because sometimes people say things that are unkind. And that's okay. All right, now I gotta carve out this belly bag. It's got 2 zipper pouches. I'm gonna do like a commercial for it. This is a fine belly bag. It'll fit around even your even a panda bear. It's got 2 zippered pouches, one on top, one up front. Made out of the highest quality canvas material. It's canvas. Canvas is eco-friendly. This panda bear wouldn't be like wearing anything out of. I assume canvas is eco-friendly, right? Yeah. Are you putting a dark wash on your board first for contrast? Yeah. So what I'm doing. This is birch plywood, like I said. And on top of that, I just do a spray paint. I spray paint it black so I can see the marks that I'm making. So I know exactly what it's going to look like when I print it. I can also take a step back and just squint to see if I like what I'm doing or if I need to take more information out or if I've taken out too much information, which usually isn't the case. It just takes out the mystery in the process. But all it is it's the cheapest spray paint. And the fact that it's being the cheapest is kind of important because cheap spray paint isn't very thick, so you can see through it quite easily. That's what I thought. Thanks, love your style. Well, thank you. Thanks for stopping by and saying kind things. And all it is just cheap spray paint, like 97 cents a can cheap. You just get it at you can get it pretty much anywhere, actually. Very cool. Got to get back to work myself. Have a great week. Yeah, no. Thank you. Thanks for stopping by. Get back to work, man. Enjoy. Have a good week. Enjoy the rest of your Monday. And I'll do the same. So I kind of was doing this as like a little test to see how it works on Facebook Live. Like I said, I haven't streamed on Facebook Live in a while. I'm doing nothing super complicated, but I've got plans working in the future to do more of these, and I just wanted it to be and look as professional as possible. And I'm noticing that the light is a little blown out looking on the stream on my end. Like there's a little bit too much light on the on the screen? Is that how it looks for you guys? Does it look fine on your end? I've got something better coming for sound. I've got a new microphone coming. Right now I'm just working with the microphone that's in the webcam. But in the future, I'm going to have better quality sound whenever that microphone gets here. But for now, this is what it is. I would like to know how the experience is on your end, so I recently changed the rubber backing that I carve on from black to white because the black was messing with the white balance of the camera too much, and the white works better. But I might see if there's like a mid-tone that might work a little bit better if it doesn't blow out. But Casey says it looks good to him, so maybe it's fine. I have a tendency to overthink things and want things to be like perfect times 10. I want it to be the best possible that I can. I'm excited for the microphone to get here. And when that gets here, I'll be doing more and more of these. But I decided today to not let that stop me and still pop on here and hang out. Because I was going to wait until that, but then I also wanted to carve this here. Tom, he puts it on because it's easier to see the cuts. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see Tom's comment, though. Oh, replying to Scott. Tom's here. That's Tom's comment. I'm going to be sketching for you, Tom, this week at some point. This is my warm-up carving for the week as I just get back into the studio after the weekend. But Tom is correct. I want to flatten this area out a little bit. A little too much texture going on down here that might get picked up when I go to ink it. So I'm just going to knock it down. Knock it down a peg. It's a little too confident. You need to stop being so confident. Wood grain texture underneath the belt. That was bull. All right. This paw's time. Got the dog B sleeping on the chair behind me. And I mentioned that because when I said paw, that I gotta carve this paw. One of the things I ask B to do all the time is to give me a paw. And he sometimes he excitedly gives it up, and then other times he not so excitedly gives me his paw. I might ask him for his paw too much, though. But he's sleeping and he's fun. He's hanging out. He's comfortable. So I've officially been working on this piece for about an hour now. Yeah, my chair is starting to make weird noises. Hopefully it's not breaking. I've had this chair for like 15 years. It'd be sad if it started to break. I've already fixed it like 5 times. Might need a new fix. I sit on a swivel chair. You probably can't tell, but that's how I'm able to get different angles and move left to right and side to side. And this is actually at the table I draw on or carve on is at a slight angle too. It's a drafting table, and it's at about a 30-degree angle. And then I sit, at an angle to that too. All right, everything else is below the belt. Actually, before I get too much further, I'm going to do another couple swipes on my honing block here. And then one on the inside. Keep this tool sharp and working properly. Carving out the underbelly area, and then it's got some lines coming out from here. To create value. All right, now to carve his rump, his panda rump. Take a couple little cuts out of there. Same thing here. Same thing here. Because this fur is going to be white, and then this fur is going to be quote unquote black, but I usually do like a gray purple for that. So it's not going to be black because the ink I use is black, and I don't want it to be just like a monochromatic thing. Where's the fun in that? This world is filled with colors, and we should use them. So I use colors. That sounds like a Sesame Street thing. I use color, yay! I do my Elmo impression, but I'm not going to subject you fine folks to that. Or Grover. Now this fur is going to be interesting to carve because it kind of goes cross-diagonally, but more with the grain than against the grain. So it's going to want to peel up as I'm carving it, but I'm not going to let that happen. I'm not going to let that happen. So, because there's two different directions of the grain. There's with the grain and against the grain, obviously. With the grain is the grain's running this way. So when I cut that way, I'm cutting with it. And when I cut with the grain, it wants to peel up. Kind of like you peel like a carrot. Just moves in a long string. And when I go against the grain, which is more downward, which is kind of like here, it chips away. But when I do go kind of diagonal, it does a little bit of both. And it's just interesting. I just have to be mindful of it. And you have to make sure your tools are as sharp as possible when you're doing that too. It definitely helps. It definitely helps. Take out some big chunks so I can get the values right and take out little chunks in between. I wish Facebook gave you the option to like have people talk to you with their voice. It becomes more of a natural conversation rather than you guys typing. I don't know. I know not everyone would want to type in with the voice, but talk with their voice. It's more of a passive is typing. That's why I like doing I did the Zoom call a couple weeks ago, and a handful of people jumped in on the Zoom call, and it was kind of interesting. I wish the Zoom call went well. I had a couple people that I knew and a couple people that I didn't know jump in, which was fun. I wish that there was more of a slightly more passive option on Zoom, because you're either on Zoom, I know you can kind of just hang out, but it feels a little awkward if someone's just kind of hanging out, not saying anything. I wish there was like an option of where people could just watch on Zoom, and then every now and then just pipe in with their voice, and it didn't like show up with the blank square. I don't know. I'll have to figure it out. But I do like the option of having people interact with me on a more of a face-to-face setting. My brother keeps trying to get me to go on Twitch, which I might. I mean, I probably will actually. Once I get my microphone in. He's real big on Twitch though, surprised. He's my twin, so we're the same age. I just didn't realize that he was talking a lot about watching all the gamers play games. He's real into one of the video games. He likes watching people play it. I knew that world existed, but I guess I didn't know that it was like as big as it is. Because it seems pretty massive. I'm getting close to finishing this one up. I'd say it'd probably be done in the next 15 minutes. That puts me at about an hour and a half of carving on this little guy. That's not a goal, it's just an estimation. I'm not going to rush it. Not going to rush it. And then I had to work on a freelance piece for a restaurant that I got to get done by like Wednesday. I told him I'd be done with it on Wednesday. So I got to sit down and draw that. It's not a woodcut piece. It's more of a digital piece. So I just got to sit down and finish that. I'm done with the sketch. Now I just got to work on the final, which is the most time consuming, but the easiest part of the whole process. But it is the most time consuming. Easiest because I'm just using different parts of my brain. When I'm sketching, I'm using like the critical thinking part of my brain. And it's hard to do it with, listening to music or watching a movie or something like that. But when I've got the sketch done and I just got to finish it, then I can relax a little bit. I can turn on a podcast. Listen to that as I work. But when I'm sketching, I pretty much have to just work. Turn all the sound off. I'm not a person that can just sit there and listen. And work and be as productive. Now for the back leg. Fun fact, the first carved and painted piece that I ever did was a panda. It was a panda sleeping on a branch. And it was about 4 feet wide. It was a big boy. I don't work that size much anymore. Mainly because of storage and shipping and things like that. Today, a 2-foot piece is a big piece for me. And I'd slowed down on my carving method too. Back then it would, how long would it take me? Maybe take me like a day to carve out a 4-foot piece like that. Today, with the rate that I carve, probably take me about a week to carve out a piece that large. I've just gotten a little bit more meticulous with my work. I make smaller marks now than I did back then. And I use different materials. I used to use MDF, medium density fiberboard. And now this is birch. And the MDF just carved a little bit quicker. Just a little bit quicker. I'd have to worry about things chipping. It just kind of carved away like butter. but the wood, the birch is a much better product. And I imagine it'll last longer. Not that the MDF disintegrates over time, but it's not wood. It's not wood. So I'm glad I made the switch to wood. A little over a year ago now. It's been a minute. And I still every now and then will find an MDF chip somewhere in the house, just because wood chips get everywhere. Though actually, the MDF got everywhere because it would stick to fabric like Velcro, but the wood chips don't really do that as much. So they don't follow me around the house like the MDF used to. There's a handful of MDF chips still floating around this house, though. It's kind of funny. Kind of funny. That's my impression of all of you laughing when I tell funny jokes like that. It's so funny. And I'm making fun of myself now because it's not funny. Oh goodness. When I get towards the end of a carving, I get a little silly. Get a little silly. As I finished this foot, I was having an interior dialogue. And last night, we started watching, for me the first time, for Paige not the first time, the movie Spirited Away, which I'd never seen. And I know it's a cult favorite for a lot of people. And I'd never seen it for no reason other than I just, never sat down to watch it. But Paige hit it on, and we watched part of it. We'll finish it tonight, most likely. It's an interesting movie. I don't know what's going on with some of it yet. The questions have yet to be answered. I won't give any spoilers, and you guys don't give me any spoilers because I got to finish it. But don't know what's going on with the stink spirit yet. I don't know if it's like one of those Lost things where like they did die driving up so fast on that hill. Don't know why her dad was driving so much like a madman. He was going crazy driving up that hill. So don't know. Maybe she is dead in the world of the spirits. That's my running theory right now. Just got home from work. Thanks for waiting for me. Not LOL. Sorry, Mike. Should I schedule these? Should I have a weekly thing so people know when I'm doing it? Or do you like the random of, hey, Noosh just decided to stream today? But yeah, so let's talk about Spirited Away. But it's a weird movie. It's got some really great weird visuals in it too, which I'm sure everyone knows. This movie, I don't even know. This movie was probably made 20, 30 years ago. But some of the watercolor stuff is beautiful, like the backgrounds. The opening scene has a tree that I was like, whoa, that's pretty. That's pretty beautiful. And then the animation itself is beautiful too. So I'm enjoying it so far. Random is good. All right, cool. I knew you were just kidding. I was just curious. It was a thought I had earlier too. Should I? Yeah. Random's good. I like random too because that means I don't like making promises to people. And if I start putting things on a schedule, that's a promise I have to keep to you guys. And my life is a little bit more fun when I don't have to keep promises to people. Which, yeah. So, here we go. This panda is done. Completed. Panda wearing a belly bag. All finished. So, thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry, Mike. Thanks for jumping in at the end. But I will put the whole thing up for people to watch later. So, but thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. Woo! I'll see y'all next time that I decide to do live streamy stuff. I'll be doing more of these, so keep an eye out for it. Thanks, guys. Bye. Bye, Mike.